Hey, I'm Lex.
And I'm Gibby. And welcome to our 8th episode of Porch Swing People.
Each week, we bring on a guest to chat with them about positive things going on in their life. We're so excited to talk with our guest, Dawn. In a bit.
Yeah. Hey, but before we bring Dawn on, bumped into your brother the other day, and he had mentioned your guys' book club. How's that coming along?
Oh, he did. Good question. I love this topic. So we started a cousin book club back in August with a seemingly random topic of historical biographies. And we are on our 3rd book already. So I think that means it's kind of like a real book club.
It's a hit.
It's a hit. So our first book we read about Beethoven.
Very cool.
Second book was on Harriet Tubman. And then right now we are reading a book called Waterman, which is on the surfer swimmer Duke Kahanamoku from Honolulu.
That's awesome. You know, how many of the cousins are in this?
We've got, I think there's 6 of us.
That is awesome. So this is your 3rd book, and we said, hey, this is a real book club now. I'm pretty impressed with you guys.
It's been really fun. We usually meet on Zoom every other week to go over our book club, and we have a different person who facilitates the book club each book. So I volunteered to do it this time. But you want to hear the coolest part of this book?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Our
last meetup, which will be in a couple weeks, will be in person right before Julia's wedding.
Yay!
Julia's from episode 4?
Yes.
Julia from episode 4. We're all getting together for our last book club meetup, and it will be, in person since we'll all be there. So
that's
we're excited.
Awesome.
It's gonna be fun.
First time. All together.
Yeah, we represent right now like 6 different states.
That's right.
We're all in different states.
And soon, different countries.
As we know. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to episode 4 of Porch Swing People.
How suspenseful.
Yes. Speaking of suspenseful, what is our guest going to have to share with us today?
Who knows? It's Dawn.
No, I'm genuinely asking. What do you think she's going to have, like, if you had to guess what she's going to talk about?
I wouldn't be able to guess what. I mean, Dawn is fun. She, you know what? If I was going to say guessing, I guess it would be fun for life.
Fun for life.
Yep.
Okay. I was going to say, like, maybe teaching, maybe science, maybe hiking. Those are the things that I know about Dawn. So I was actually asking what you thought she might, but you're probably right. Maybe none of those things, maybe just fun for life.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's bring her on.
Let's do it.
Hey!
Dawn!
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are good.
We're doing great.
Yay! So good to see you guys.
I know, it's good to see you. When's the last time that I saw you? Was that at a restaurant somewhere? Randomly in Utah?
It was in Utah.
Like years ago at this point.
A couple years ago.
My oldest was a baby still, I think.
Yes. And Gibby had his dog.
Yeah. Remember when we went to that restaurant?
I want to say yes, I remember, but I don't recall.
That's you had Poppy with you.
That's my memory thing going on right there.
Okay. Well, now we see you again. Have you seen Gibby since then?
I don't think so.
I think that was the last time.
Gosh, it's been a while. And where are you located right now, specifically? Start with your street address. I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Give us a general location.
Denver. I'm in Denver.
Okay. And so we're going there next week, in a week and a half, for my cousin's wedding.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah. Dawn, have you been on a podcast before?
Never.
All right.
Do you listen to podcasts?
Nope.
Do you know what a podcast is?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You sound like you're on trial.
Well, it sounds like you know what's going to happen because you know what a podcast is. So that's a good starting point. First guest experience, let's make it the best experience.
The best experience. Dawn, just so you feel better, I've never listened to a podcast prior to us doing this.
You know what? I trust you guys. I trust Lexi to edit.
Well, that's really kind.
This is trust. If I didn't trust you, I'd have been like, no, I'm not doing a podcast.
Well, that's a good plug for other people that it's okay to trust us. in this podcast experience. Even if you're not quite sure if we're professional or not, we're definitely not. But it's still fun anyway.
It's fun.
Hey, Don, tell us a little about yourself.
Sure. All right. So I was originally from the Northeast. I grew up in New York, New Jersey, and then let's see. Then I lived in South Carolina, Ohio, Utah, Seattle. Now I'm in Denver. So I've kind of moved all over the place. I've bounced back and forth in the defense industry and teaching secondary. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just all over the place.
That's amazing.
I didn't know you grew up in New York and Jersey.
Yeah. I was born on Long Island, and I grew up in Jersey.
Yeah, because I never hear that in your voice. Did you have that accent when you were younger?
Oh, I did. But I attended Ohio State for a while, and I learned from a friend of mine that I met in grad school in Ohio that Ohio's like the neutral like accent that they teach like broadcasters and stuff. Apparently.
Oh,
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so super vanilla. So I just tried to learn the Ohio whatever. You know what I mean?
How interesting! Wow, that's so intentional. Did you pick up any accent from your years in the South?
Well, I still say y'all. I mean, because it's.
But that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, I mean it's beautifully gender neutral.
Yeah.
And also, like, it just flows easier than you guys, you know? So.
Use guys.
Actually, before I moved to Denver, I forgot, I was living in Talladega. So it definitely, like, if I'm around people from the South, and I get flown to work in Alabama kind of on the regular. So if I end up in the South and I start a little bit, but then I'm like, oh, don't be ironic. Like, don't be ironic. Don't mimic. They're going to think I'm just mimicking.
Every time Dawn comes to visit, her voice changes a little bit to fit in. So, wait, what are you doing right now?
So I'm back doing defense work. I technically am explosive safety is my job, which is completely weird because until I took this job a little over a year ago, I never worked in a safety department. I was usually when safety was running around after, telling me to stop doing crazy things.
So wait, was that a really big learning curve?
To start working safety?
Yeah.
With explosives?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I had like years ago. I had I worked at back when it was ATK Fire Call. Like it's gone through 4 different owners or something since then. But I used to develop explosives. So yeah. So that was kind of when I was like, hey.
I guess you had to be safe while you're doing that.
Well, the safety department kept me safe.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because and I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to.
You
come
don't
up with
get
something
second
new.
chances with it. Yeah, you don't get second chances with explosives. You got to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and when you're doing research and you're trying to come up with something new, sometimes it's mixing things that have never been mixed before. Sometimes it's different processing, and to have the safety people come in and be like, hold on there. Let's think through XYZ first, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
It's really nice to have a designated person or group team for that.
Yeah.
So before we started recording, you told us that you went hiking last weekend. What do you do for fun?
Get up into the mountains as much as possible. I do a lot of hiking. I love jogging. Like I love running. A little weird that way, I think.
Well, you're in a good area where a lot of people like to run. And do you like cycling?
Yeah. I have a gravel bike. Go out and ride bikes too. So,
Yeah.
I'm terrible at mountain biking. Like terrible at mountain biking. But
you wiped out.
Oh, so bad. Like I have all the wrong instincts. So real mountain biking, like you're going down a hill, and I get scared,
quickly.
So I slam on the brakes and flip over the handlebars. Like
you've
reliably.
actually done that?
Oh, multiple times.
Oh my gosh! Multiple times, and you kept trying.
Yeah. Do you have a GoPro? Because that would be cool to
especially in slow motion.
This was like years ago, and I was like with the kids, and because they were into mountain biking and they didn't do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was more like trying to keep up with them, and that's why. So now that the kids are grown and I'm on my own, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a gravel bike. I'm not actually going over rocks or tree trunks. They would just we'd be riding, they just hop over it, and I'm like stopping and taking my feet out of the clips and lifting my bike. No, I have a gravel bike. I've got these nice like trails that are like the rails to trails things are just nice. And flat.
I love trails like that for walking and cycling.
Yeah,
knowing your boys watching you wipe out, they're like, dude, did you see Mom? That was awesome.
I bet they helped you up and brushed you off and then gave you some advice.
That's so cute that you think teenage boys are
Not the way it works.
No. No.
I go hiking on some mountain biking trails. It's really eye-opening as a hiker, especially because you're going up everything really slow. So you get a lot of time to see what the curves look like and what all of like the roots and stuff look like. And I always think that is really intense. And I mean, you have to make split-second decisions at a constant rate pretty much the entire way.
Yeah.
But like you said, if that's kind of your thing and you have a brain for that, I guess that could be really fun.
Yeah. I don't.
Not you.
No. And then skiing is kind of the same thing. So like I started downhill skiing again, and then
great.
like a lot of people do like the backcountry skiing out here, right? So I was like, even just the hiking was enough to make me like afraid of avalanches. So I took like this whole like avalanche class because I'm like, I don't want to die.
Who did you do the class through?
Oh, okay. So out here, there's it's a Colorado Mountain Club does a lot of classes. So I took last fall, I took like a wilderness trekking class with them. Well, anyways, I did like a huge hike. I can talk about that later, like with some friends like a year ago. And I realized from doing that hike with them and prepping for it was like I didn't know anything, and I'm like, it's amazing that I haven't died in the mountains yet. So I took like just a wilderness trekking class with Colorado Mountain Club just to kind of get some of the basics, and then I took like their first round course, and it was like a 3-day thing out in the mountains like in January. I mean, it was great. But some of the people were doing it so they could like backcountry ski, and my little lesson was that the slope for backcountry skiing is the same for like the slope for like avalanches being really good. Like if it's flat, obviously avalanches aren't going very far, and if it's super steep, snow won't stick. So you got this like slope in the middle that the snow sticks on, but it's the same slope for all the backcountry. And I'm just like, I will ski corduroy at the resorts for the rest of my life.
Totally.
Like, I don't need this.
Oh, that's so funny. That's a good lesson to learn.
Yeah.
And did you just take a backpacking class?
Yeah. So, well, in the winter, I took winter camping, and because I love snow and I love being up in the mountains, and there's like this advantage because there's not as many people camping like in the snow in the winter. But I'll tell you, setting up a tent in the snow, I'm out of my mind. I'm like, what am I doing? And we had like fantastic weather, like both of the overnights. Like it was like, it wasn't windy, it wasn't really cold, you know what I mean? It was beautiful weather, and I'm still like, why am I doing this intentionally?
It was a blast. Funny. I've told Lexi this, that I did a month of cold weather training up in Kodiak, Alaska. It was one of my favorite all-time trips. We did it in February. It was a winter wonderland, and we slept in snow caves and we set up tents. It was a blast.
Yeah. No, and I learned how to build a snow cave and all those different snow structures, and it was fantastic. Like it was kind of the same thing as the avalanche class. Like so many people took the avalanche class so they could learn how to do avalanche rescue. I'm like, oh, if I avoid these slopes, I can cross country ski, I can snowshoe, like I can spend, you know what I mean? I can be up in the snow, and I love it. But yeah, the winter camping, I was like, the cold doesn't get me if I'm hiking and like up in the mountains hiking and stuff, because you're moving. But man, sleeping overnight in a tent. So yeah, so now I'm taking the regular backpacking class, and it's really just so that I can learn how to find water. Because in the winter, you just gather up some snow and melt it, and you're good to go. So I'm like, summer.
Boil it.
Yeah, I'm like a whole different, boil it, but But summertime, I'm like, all right, I got to know how to find water. Like, this is a whole...
Well, tell us something that you've learned so far that everybody should know.
It's pretty early in the course. So, I mean, for the backpacking one?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Find water.
haven't really learned anything new. I mean, yes. No, I mean, because we had one class, and they just went through like the gear that you need. You know what I mean? So that really, I've already got that.
Yeah, you got that.
And then I'm like a gravity filtration thing for water, because the water, if I'm getting it from a stream. Yeah. So, but that's really the main thing that I need to figure out. But it's more like, how do you find the water? How do you pick a trail where you're going to reliably have water to go? So that's the main thing I want to get out of my backpacking class this summer.
Your backpacking adventures. Are we talking multiple days? Like, what's your goal here?
So I don't really run with goals. I'm a little weird that way. Like, I just do what's fun. Like, I know, like, and so the course, I think we do a couple of just one-nighters, and then we do a two-nighter, and then we're done with the course. So I don't know what I'll end up deciding to do. I mean, it just comes down, I think, really to like how much food do you want to carry. you know, because that's the only thing that you're not really replenishing. But yeah, no, I'm a total weirdo when it comes to that. Like most people are like have a goal. Like one of my friends that like I did this, like I said, like a little over a year ago, I did a pretty massive hike with some friends, and she was like up in Alaska 2 weeks ago, like prepping to do Denali, you know.
Oh,
and I'm
right
like,
on.
Have fun, you know. That was, like,
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, you know, they're set the sights on like Aconcagua because it's like the tallest peak in South America, like they, you know, the 7 tallest peaks on the continent.
They're getting it on.
Oh yeah, they're going for it. I have 0 goals. I'm like, it's just fun. Like,
Whatever
I will do. It's fun.
Whatever the wind calls, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever speaks to you is what you'll do.
Yeah, and I love being in the mountains, and I love camping, and I can throw 50 pounds on my back and hike up the mountains. I'm totally happy with all that. Like none of that phases me. Yeah, I'm definitely like, yeah, I'm in my 50s. 0 to prove. I'm just doing it's fun.
Hey, Don, Lexi and I were talking a little bit earlier. She's in a book club with her cousins, and she's a big reader. But we know that you're an avid reader. So tell us a book that you think that everybody should experience.
All right. So you got to put avid reader. I'm avid listening to books.
Okay.
Audiobooks.
I mean,
Audiobooks
don't get me
or
wrong.
books?
I love sitting down with a book. It's just trying to find the time, right? So if I do books on like audiobooks, then I can just work out and
You can
listen.
read so many books. Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, I just do it while I'm working out, so it works out great. But yeah, a recent one that I finished up that is phenomenal. It's called Caste by Isabel Wilkerson. It is so good. Like I'm
It's
gonna
fiction?
just get.
Yeah.
No. It's total nonfiction. Like
Okay.
it's amazing. But she is just a genius, and she's like kind of teaches you like a whole different language to see things differently. Like it's mind blowing. So I don't want to say anything more than that because I don't want to screw it
Well,
up.
we need to hear a little bit more. What's it about?
So it's about America's caste system, which I know we don't tend to think as Americans we have a caste system, and so she does this amazing like comparison to like the caste system in India, what Nazi Germany set up, modeling off of the U.S. caste system. Like it's just brilliant. Like it's brilliant.
Wow.
And she uses like a whole different. To me, it was like learning like almost like a whole different like way of like language and speaking about these issues, so that you can kind of see it and see the comparisons. Like, but it was just brilliant.
Before you started reading it, were you even vaguely familiar or aware that this was around us?
Yeah, what was your starting knowledge?
Yeah. I mean, so the reason I read it, I don't know if she's director, Ava DuVernay, and I might have just said her name wrong, but
I don't know.
phenomenal movies. I want to say like Selma. She did that movie, and when they see us, about the exonerated 5. I don't know if any of these are ringing a bell, but anyways, Ava DuVernay. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, but phenomenal director, and she actually made a movie recently out of the book Caste. And so I watched the movie, and I'm like, well, this is amazing. You know what I mean? And I knew it was like a nonfiction book, so I'm like, okay, I gotta actually read the whole thing. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, and how did it compare to the movie? Much more in depth.
Yeah, I mean, obviously because a book, right? It's always going to be more in depth. I mean, the movie was great. But it's a movie, right?
This changes the way you see things and your construction of how you view our country. How does that change the way you live at all?
For me, like, I think it deepened things and maybe put a better clarity on things. Like so in my teaching, like I taught in public schools for over a dozen years. And with exception to 1 year, it was always Title I schools. Like I said, before I moved to Denver, I was in Alabama, and I taught in a school there for 2 years. And it was like 95% free and reduced lunch, which means desperately poor, and it was 95% black. So I cannot tell you how many times I was like the only white person in a room, you know? And I will say that school in Talladega was the most beautiful school I ever worked at. And the community was amazing. Like it was this very rural school, and it was like mom or dad or aunt or uncle, grandparents, whatever, you know what I mean, had all attended that school. It was amazing support. It was a beautiful community. You can't have that experience. I mean, like, you know, you're a teacher. You can't have that experience and not see things differently. You know what I mean? Because that's one of the things I think keeps America divided is we don't intermingle enough. We stay in our little bubbles of whether it's university educated bubble, or I'm back in the defense industry, so your little engineering, well paid bubble, right? We have all these little bubbles we run in, and if you're teaching in a Title I school, like you got to break down those bubbles, So I think I've kind of always looked at things. I don't know. I like that process of teaching and doing all that self-reflection and trying to understand, and you know what I mean, when you work with families, and I look at families and I see 99% commonality, and that's cool. kind of teaching, I think, gave me that. But yeah, this book was still mind-blowing, just in terms of actually the structures of things and like the systems that are in place, and just really kind of gave a lot of clarity to a lot of stuff.
Whew, that is some pretty heavy stuff, though.
Yeah. Sorry. We're supposed to be light.
No, that is, but it's real.
I am definitely going to check out that book. Thanks for that recommendation.
Sure.
Telling us about that. Well, should we move? Let's move to something perhaps a little bit lighter.
Okay. Well, wait. Let me go with my hilarious story.
That was the next question. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell us something something hilarious that happened recently.
Okay. So. Let's go back. Okay, so I moved to Denver like 2.5 years ago. And the first year I just call it hermit mode. Like I had, it's like 4/10s. So you got like a 3-day weekend, like every weekend. And I forced myself to do like one social thing. Like I was just.
Good for you. That's a lot to do one social thing a weekend.
Yeah. I counted happy hour on a Thursday night.
Of course, that counts too.
And this is, hold on.
Check the box on that.
I'm out here in Denver and I love the mountains, so I'm like wandering off into the woods, and this will come back later with nothing but water and toilet paper, because that was all I felt was necessary. I forced myself to do like one thing with another human being, like on a weekend, and then so I was out here a little over a year, and my friend who's out here is, she's like. And it was total like last minute, really, like, and I didn't know it at the time, it was last minute, but she's like, hey, group of us are going to go hike Kilimanjaro. You want to go? And I like laughed, and I'm like, I don't have these skills. And she's like, yeah, Dawn, you can do it. And I've like hiked with her a couple times. She's like, no, you can do it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, yeah, send me the information. So I read she sends me the information, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I think I can do this. And as steep as it got was like 1,000 foot over a mile. So I could find some mountains out here in Colorado, and I think I was out of town for work at the time. So I fly in, I stop at REI, get some hiking poles, I hit the mountains, I'm like, okay, let's see. And
so now you have water, toilet paper, and trekking poles.
And now hiking poles, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that was the extent.
Additional item.
I know. Anyways, so I did that 2 days back to back. My knees felt pretty good, so I'm like, all right, I can do this. So it was like less than a week total, and I like let my friend know, like, yeah, I'm in. Now, what is funny about this, because then like it was like a couple weeks later, she was like cracking on me for being so whimsical and jumping into it. Apparently, everybody else on this trip had been prepping for 6 months to make a decision.
What?
I'm like not even 6 days, and there was a 4-day delay on that because I was in Alabama for work. Then it was like that spring, like we're doing these like group hikes and stuff, and it was, I think it was snowshoeing, and I'm like, okay, so I got to go buy snowshoes, and then I'm asking like one of my other friends, I'm like, okay, so what else do I need? She's like, well, the 10 essentials and blah blah blah, and luckily it was a text, because I'm like, the 10 what?
10 essentials, yeah.
Yeah, the 10 essentials. So I look them up. Water is one essential. Toilet paper is not. So out of the 10 things to keep yourself alive, I spent a lifetime hiking in all sorts of mountains with one essential.
You ignored the 9.
But I don't know what the 9 are. Wait, game time. What do you think's on the list, Gibby? Do you know, you have the 10 essentials memorized at this point?
I think I can go through them, but I want to hear Gibby.
All right.
Well, I think food is probably going to be one of them. You're going to have some type of shelter that you can make shelter with. Probably some rope or string that you need to keep with you, in case you
questionable. You don't need rope, is what she's saying. What about a knife?
Yeah.
Knife. Yeah. Okay. Wait, are we at 3? And water, right? A water source. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Iodine pills or matches or something to make a fire. Oh yeah, there you go.
Matches. Okay.
I'm gonna go warmth.
Warmth.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense.
Dry socks. Got to have some extra clothes.
Is that a luxury? Maybe that's a luxury? Okay, so does footwear count?
Warmth.
Okay.
Like clothing and stuff to stay warm.
You bring your matches and your fuzzy socks.
I would say probably have a panel
proper footwear.
flashlight or something to
Oh, light
mirror.
source.
Yeah, and a mirror or something to if for an emergency.
A first aid kit.
Oh yeah, got to have a first aid kit.
The mirror can go in the first aid kit.
I was going to go with the international orange thing in case you need to be.
What about like the GPS trackers or emergency radios?
Navigation.
Oh,
Okay, navigation. We have 2 more.
2 more.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what they are right now.
We might say them, and you could just say, "Yep, you got
I know.
it."
I might have put things that you said into one group that belong in 2.
Digital camera for pictures.
You're gonna need a compass. That way, if you are backwards,
Well, we already
you
did
can at least-
navigation.
Okay.
Or GPS,
Navigation
yeah.
tools.
No, but you guys like knocked it out that way. Like I can't. I'm honestly like I'm trying to go through what is my default in my pack. Oh, maybe sun protection. Sun protection might be one. But anyways, you're getting the deficit between my water.
We
and
understand the
all
point.
of the things.
You had nothing. And I imagine that on these hikes where you were bringing water and teepee, that you were not telling anyone where you were going.
No.
Yeah, that's a big one. You're supposed to say, "Hey, by the way, if I don't show up in about 3 days, find me out somewhere in
Here's
here."
where I am.
So I did that once, right? And I don't remember. Sammy might have been off camping or something. You know what I mean? So I remember I'm like, and Jake was in town, you know. So I'm like, I let Jake and Maria know, like, hey, I'm going off to do whatever. Like, if you don't hear from me in 6 hours, and of course, like Jake's like, Mom, where are you going? What are you doing? Like,
It sounds very dramatic when you put it
Panic.
like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was text. I'm inferring the panic in his voice, but he was just
Sure.
like, all I did was like freak him out. I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to do this to my kids.
Okay. So, but how did it end up? You got the essentials, and then you went and hiked Kilimanjaro, and it was awesome.
Yeah, so we did Kili, and a massive shout out to there's an organization called NOLS, so it's NOLS, and it's Outdoor Leadership School. The N might be North America. I don't know. Anyways, but Knowles, phenomenal. They were, so my friend is actually on the board for Knowles. So Knowles like did the whole thing. And we have this amazing guide, like his KG, he has websites. Like, I mean, cause he's a legend. Like he's from Kenya. He's the first or maybe only Kenyan that's ever climbed Everest. Like he's got a mountain in Tanzania named after him. Like he's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So he led the trip and we went in May, which is supposed to be like the rainy season. So like, whereas the mountain, I guess, is normally like super crowded and what's supposed to be the dry season, like we had like, maybe we had like little camp area instead of everything being like wall to wall people. We either had it to ourselves or there was one other group like way off in the distance.
Oh my gosh.
So it was phenomenal as far as that goes. And then, KG was just like, well, all the climate's changing. And so apparently like all winter when it's supposed to be dry season, it just dumped buckets. And then it rained like one day. And it was like, it was amazing. Like, I mean, we had a little bit of sprinkle here and there. But yeah, we had, when we summited, like we had a full moon, clear skies, and the lead guy was like singing these like spirituals in Swahili. Like it was it was magical. It was just magical. It was
amazing.
A phenomenal experience. Yeah.
Well, good for you for doing, like your friend is saying it was funny that you were on a whim making this decision saying, I think I'm in, but good for you. That's amazing.
That's a serious get out of my comfort zone right there.
But here's the thing again, like, so on this trip, the other thing I learned, apparently there's type 1, type 2, and type 3 fun. And I think type 1 fun is when it's just fun all the time. Type 2 apparently is when it's sort of a little bit miserable getting through it, but you get to the end and you feel really good about it. And type 3, I guess, is just misery and misery. I don't know. I'm not really sure.
How was that fun, though?
Kili was just type 1 the entire time.
Are you serious?
Oh my God,
That's
it was amazing.
incredible.
Okay, but here's the thing. So the park or this country, whatever it is, like they require that you have at least 2 porters for every 1 hiker. So I mean this experience, and then like KG's a legend. So all like the best porters and guides and stuff are just like, KG hike, and it's the off season. They're not busy. Like we had this amazing group of people just doing everything.
Literally could not have been better.
Yeah. So I have my little so you wake up in the morning and like I had to roll up my own sleeping bag, woe is me, right? And then like the porters literally literally, like, they had cooked breakfast for us, and we have like a food tent, and we sit down and we're served meals, like, and they're hiking up, I'm not kidding, like fresh eggs, like, and all this like stuff, and they made us crepes, omelets, I mean, you name it. Like, everything was like a multi-course meal. It was amazing. And then, so then we eat breakfast.
Is that what it was like when you were in Kodiak?
No. They didn't tell us about glamping.
That's not glamping. That's just bringing cool food with you.
We were glamping. For lunch and dinner, no, I'm not even kidding. Lunch and dinner, they gave us hot washcloths, like, to like clean up with. I've never eaten in a restaurant so fancy that somebody handed me a wet washcloth. Like, I'm like, what do I do with this? The first day, all right, so we started, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 feet, and I think we hiked up to like 9 or 10, somewhere in there, you know what I mean? And it was like, we're with the group and we're on the bus to get to the base, and then we're hiking, and, you know, so it's busy. So I had not properly used a potty because I wasn't sure about like what was going to happen with the coming into this. I asked a lot of questions about bathroom needs. I really did. I asked a lot of questions. I was trying to make sure I was prepared. And apparently there is a 4-inch diameter hole in the floor, and that is what you have. For all the questions I asked, nobody warned me about this.
I can't believe that. What were they thinking?
Not a one.
There got to be something to surprise you.
Anyway, so I'm like having my little freak out moment, you know what I mean? And my friend who talked me into this, she was so great. We're in the middle of camp. She's showing me the proper like squat position for using
That's amazing.
Anyways, and KJ's like, we need to eat, and he said he had a different, like, you know, facility that we could use, but we gotta eat. So I sit down for dinner, and the whole time, this is the first time they're passing out the worm washcloths. Everybody else is like, oh, this is great. And then at the end, he's like, okay, so who? And there's 13 of us sitting around the table, you know, plus a couple of guys. And KJ's like, okay, so who wants to learn how to use the special toilet? My hand shot up. So what it was one of those little, I don't know, like 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot kind of cubes, those little, like, I guess that you would put on a boat kind of thing, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A little portable thing. But they had this great little like tent around it. So I dubbed it the princess potty. The princess potty. It was the only thing that made sense. And everybody started calling it the princess potty. I was in love with the princess potty from day one. And it was like every couple of days, a few more people would like cave, like they're trying to be tough and use houses. And as time went by, a few more people were like, oh, the princess potty's awesome. You know?
Oh, that is so funny. And here you are leading the charge.
Yeah. So then at the end, this one porter, Sebastian, took care of the princess potty. That was all he did the whole time. Was like, he carried the princess potty up. He took care of the toilet paper. And it was just immaculate the whole time. The porter who gets stuck with that job is probably the low man on the totem.
The low man.
Right? You know what I mean? And yeah. I'm thanking him and I'm giving him hugs, and, you know, and then it was like the next day they did a couple of the mornings they started out with like these like traditional like singing songs and dances and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I found Sebastian, I was dancing with him.
That sounds like such an amazing time.
Oh, it was incredible. Like, it was incredible.
So that sounds like such a learning experience in multiple ways, start to finish. Tell us something else that you've learned, maybe from another person who had a completely different background than you.
Okay. So all right. So when I was teaching in Talladega, the first person that's coming to mind is a friend of mine. She was the secretary at the school that I was working at, and such
people who hold the school together.
Yeah, and in the state of Alabama make not really a living wage in any way, shape, or form, mm-hmm. right? Like, I mean, so just so different. She's a few years older than me, and we're still in touch. Like, she came out to Denver and visited me like for a week last summer.
Wow.
Like, yeah, and like I said, like for work, like they send me to Alabama kind of regularly, so I always hang out with her. But just such a totally, completely 180 degrees different like background, like just in terms of just wealth, privilege, education, you name it, like just across the board. Mm-hmm. But such a really insightful and intelligent human being, you know what I mean? And I think really what always blows my mind is like her genuine, like, and I mean genuine, just thankfulness for just all those little things in life. You know, she's got
Wow.
like, you know, grandkids, and just, you know, just going to a track meet, or just, you know what I mean? You know, when I go to Alabama, like I always, you know, I'll take her out to dinner or whatever. She's just so thankful, you know what I mean? Just so genuinely thankful for just little things. And, you know, she'll like hop in her car and just kind of drive around and look at the scenery. And it's just her genuine, just appreciation for just all these little things in life that are just so easy to ignore. And you know what I mean? Because you get caught up on other things. And she's just, you know, overall,
But how is
I
she
guess.
like that? Where does that come from?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Oh, you didn't ask her secret?
I was wondering if, you know, that was something, or wondering if that was something that she just, you know, in her DNA when she was younger, or did something strike her later on in life? And I'm like, you know, wow, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's mind blowing. And you know, we've talked about
Inspiring.
a lot of stuff, and a lot, you know what I mean? And it hasn't come up, but you know what? I'm going to be in Bama in a couple of weeks for work, and you know, maybe I will ask her that question.
So
I don't even know if she recognized it in herself, honestly.
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
just
just
how
so
she
who
is.
she is.
Is this something that's worn off on you then?
Yeah. Has it
Oh,
affected you?
absolutely. I mean, and you know, and she's funny. Like she's like, because and for years, I mean, this is for years. Like my dad, even like 20 years ago, gave me a hat that said like life is good. You know, because I'm always like, oh, it's all good. You know what I mean? Like crap will go wrong, but it's like, you know, you just got to learn from it, right? And you know, it's like, if it's not life or limb, man, it's all good. You know, we just figure it out and move on. So she actually, you know, like notices, I guess, to an extent, the same thing in me. You know, but I definitely,
Wow.
So I don't
That's
know.
so wonderful.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, listeners, we have had so much fun with Dawn on this episode, but there's still so much more to talk about, so we decided to turn this into our very first two-parter episode. Join us next week for part 2 of our episode with Dawn. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you then.
Porch Swing People is recorded and produced by Lex and Gibby. Opening music was written and produced by Michael Gibson. Porch Swing People is a podcast featuring everyday people. If interested in being a guest, email us at porchswingpeeps@gmail.com.